187. It's the lightest I've been in about 3 years, I think. I don't think I've been any lower than that. This is what I'm working with. 7 weeks out, the lighting is not great at all.
To experience some of that in the exercise itself. Sounds and the smells. I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 7.
Guys, I'm back in the shop now, and it's got the PENNYBOARDS, and I think I'm going to make an impulse buy on this guy. It's got the same glow in the dark depth as my nickel, but it's like obviously smaller.
It's a long way to cycle to Shredsville.
So, this came today. Yes, it's a brand new penny board. And I'm gonna be like an official YouTube vlogger. So I had so much fun with the guys over the last 2 weeks, filming vlogs, going on penny boards, flying drones, everything. So much fun that I had to buy one for myself. I used to skateboard a lot when I was younger, but just stopped all of a sudden. I don't know why, it kind of fell out of fashion, and then I just stopped skateboarding. And then when I got back on the skateboard last week, I was just like, oh, this is so much fun. Kind of gonna look a bit weird, grown man on a skateboard, but it's such a fun way to get around. I had to go and buy one off penny.com. But what I want to talk to you about is not being all smoke and mirrors about this prep. For people who've been following my videos, you'll know that I'm 6-7 weeks out from the competition, the fitness competition. And no matter how many drones or skateboards you fly, there's going to be a point where you start to feel kind of crappy. And I'm at that kind of turning point where, I'm having some bad days as well as good days. And no matter how many, like I said, skateboards I go on, or how much fun I try to have, I'm just going to feel bad physically and mentally. Some days you just wake up, you're tired, you're in a bad mood, you're hungry, and then you got to go and do 40 minutes or whatever it may be of cardio like I've just done. And today isn't particularly a bad day, but I've had some bad days this week where my diet's not on point. I just, for whatever reason, I know that I shouldn't be kind of cheating on my diet or going over my macros, but I do it anyway. I'm hungry, I'm stressed, and I'm an emotional eater, so when I'm stressed out, I tend to turn to food, which isn't the best idea. So what I'm trying to do is make my life as fun as possible during this prep, which is what I've been trying to do the whole time, and try to mitigate as much of that kind of negative emotions or negative feelings or tiredness that I've been having. And it just comes to a point in everybody's prep where you're gonna have some dark days. And for people who post on social media, online, saying how good they feel, they're not telling the truth, to be honest. And I've probably been putting out videos that have just shown like all the positive sides so far within my prep, but there definitely are some negative times. Getting to a really lean level of body fat, and I'm probably like maybe 8% now, and when I get even lower, it's just gonna probably get a little bit worse. I'm gonna feel tired, I'm not gonna feel great. I'm gonna be asking myself a lot, why am I doing this? Why am I trying to get this lean? And it's just basically starting to become unhealthy. But this is what you gotta do if you choose to compete in bodybuilding or fitness, whatever it may be, and specifically so in natural bodybuilding, where you're not taking any kind of drugs to help you bring your testosterone levels back up to normal. But anyway, I've got work now. I do have a normal job like most people, and I can't just go and travel all the time and go on skateboards. So now I'm gonna go to work, and I'll catch you later. All right guys, what's going on? Back from work, back from saving the day. Also got a haircut. Hope you like it. Anyway, what I'm doing now is just preparing my pre-workout meal. It is some turkey burgers cooking up there. Some, what are they? They're cucumbers, some pickles, fermented peppers, onions, crunchy salad, and spinach leaves. I'll basically throw them all in there and make a poverty bowl. So basically what that makes is my poverty bowl. So a lot of people are asking me, Adam, what do you eat to get lean or to lose weight? And there's not any foods that I particularly eat or don't eat, and I don't think there's any foods that you can or can't eat, but I definitely think there are foods that you should and shouldn't eat. For example, my Snapchat last week I talked about, I ate like a Snickers and a Kit Kat within like 10 minutes of each other, and while yes I could eat them and they fit into my calorie balance, I was still like hungry after eating them, and I was hungry for like the rest of the day because I ate them and still wanted to stay in a calorie balance. So they're definitely foods that I probably shouldn't have ate, or at least maybe ate one of them, but I ate two of them. So these are the kind of foods that I recommend you should eat because they're quite low calorie and they'll fill me up. So that's your final product. Look at the size of it compared to my hand. It's absolutely massive. So I especially had to go and get this bowl just to make this meal. It was like bigger than any kind of salad bowl that they had. I had to go specially to Tesco just to make this meal, and it's something I've been eating over the last couple of days, and it's been helping a whole lot with hunger and my cravings as well. Like, your cravings and your hunger aren't one and one, but if you can try and mitigate your hunger as much as possible, your cravings are definitely going to be diminished. And I talked about willpower a lot in my vlogs before, and you know, if you're always trying to stop yourself from binging on junk food or eating over your calorie requirements, your willpower is going to be massively drained, and obviously this helps with not doing that. And you want to keep your willpower for other things that you do during the day. Like I said, it's a finite resource. Like, you know, if you're being productive during the day, you want to have as much willpower as possible. So whether that's like flying drones or skateboarding on penny boards, yeah, you want to keep your willpower as much as possible, and this is definitely going to help. So I recommend that you try it if you haven't tried it before. I'm not a huge fan of vegetables, but if you add stuff like I'm adding in this, I add in this stuff here. It's like light mayonnaise or light mustard, honey mustard and light mayonnaise. Them two are absolute lifesavers. I'm telling you, like, really low calories. Another question people would ask me would be, would I count the carbs from this meal, considering it's just like low carb or just all vegetables? And given that it's such a big meal, and like, even though there is a small amount of carbs in each of the single foods, I would really recommend that you count the carbs in this, or count the calories, because it comes out to about 45 grams of carbs. I haven't calculated exactly, which is kind of significant if you're eating a low carb diet, and it could be up to like a quarter of your daily intake. So I am going to take into account the carbs in this meal, which is about 45 grams of carbs, and I think you should too as well. But if you're in the off season, or you're bulking, or you're just kind of eating healthy, then, you know, I wouldn't recommend it. It's going to be very filling and it's a pretty low carb meal. Another thing to notice is this meal is pretty much comprised of single food ingredients. Now, that's not because I want to eat clean or eat healthy. It's just because they're the foods that are going to be most satiating, they're going to help my hunger the most, and they're just the lowest calories. So that's going to be, just by nature, the foods that I'm going to be eating the most of, and it's what I would recommend as well. What's going on, guys? So today's not going to be a video edit. As you can see, it's just a voiceover by myself, and I want to drop a little bit of knowledge today on sticking around low body fat levels and the misinterpretation of what people think social media has portrayed in terms of fitness models and how they stay in shape all year round. First, I want to mention that social media is basically just the highlights of what people have in their life, and they never show the background, they never show the back end stuff, and they only show the highlights. Staying at a really low body fat level, as I mentioned earlier, I'm starting to feel the effects, and I'm not even as lean as a lot of these fitness models who would be, you know, 4-5% body fat in their cover shoots or whatever it may be. But the negative impacts are only going to get worse for myself. And if you're staying around these low levels of body fat year round, or you're trying to attain these and then maintain them, you're going to be struggling pretty much all of your life. You're going to be hungry, your libido is going to be down, you're going to have no energy, your performance in the gym is going to be pretty poor, which is going to lead to poor motivation. You're going to be moody, you're not going to want to be around friends and family. And you got to ask yourself, is that really healthy mentally in order to just have this six-pack, these shreds? Are you willing to sacrifice all that just to have a little bit of less body fat? you really got to find where your optimal body fat level is in order to maintain a happy, healthy life and to make progress within the gym as a natural athlete. Even guys who do use drugs or steroids or whatever they use, they too also need to spend time in a higher level of body fat. And there is a misconception that all these guys who are really lean all year round just take drugs and that's all that you need to do in order to stay lean year round. It's not true. You simply need to spend time at a higher body fat level to be healthy and to make progress in and outside of the gym. Workout done, and what's the best part of having a penny board when your workout's done? Is that you can skateboard home. So guys, back at the house, better eat something. I haven't eaten anything since I ate that salad, but I didn't eat the whole salad before I went to the gym, so I did have a little bit afterwards, or I finished it off. This is what I'm finishing the night up with. It's pretty late right now. It's 12:30. Yogurt from Lidl, like 55 cents, just low fat, normal yogurt. I do prefer the Greek yogurt, the low fat Greek yogurt. There's a few different makes, not in Lidl but in other stores, but it's way more expensive. That's 55 cents, and the other stuff is like €3 or something like that. So I'm having that with some frozen berries and bran flakes, cheap as chips again, and of course, not to forget, the My Protein flavor drops. They absolutely saved me when I was in Norway. And I actually made one earlier. Don't ask me why I made one earlier, because it's just yogurt. There's nothing else in it. But I'm gonna mix all these up and finish off the macros with that. So this is what the final product looks like. I'm sure you're dying to see. And I kind of have the same meal every night before I go to bed. Most of my nights are pretty much the same, you know. Staying up a bit later sometimes, but I try and keep it, you know, quite regimented. And one thing that I do that I recommend, even if you don't follow a meal plan and you follow more of a flexible dieting approach, which is what I recommend, I would still kind of keep a staple meal before you go to bed and make that like a bigger meal. I always have like a cereal with yogurt and fruit, and it's always pretty much around the same, so that at least if I can vary a little bit during the day, at least I know that at night time I'm gonna have the same meal and I'm not gonna be going to bed hungry. Because sometimes if you're like really flexible during the day in terms of allowing yourself to have different foods that you wouldn't necessarily have because you're out or whatever, but you still want to hit your calorie goals, you could end up at the end of the day with like no calories left and you're going to bed starving if you still want to be in the calorie deficit. So at least if you have that buffer where you've put the meal in. So what I do is I put the meal into my FitnessPal before I even eat it, so in the morning, so that I know, okay, these whatever 500 calories can't be touched because I'm gonna have them anyway. So that means I'm pretty much not going to bed hungry. So that's another tip that I would give you, and you should probably try and implement something like that. Anyway, I hope that you found today's video informative. It wasn't as much vlogging as I would have liked to get done. I was supposed to go and do some penny boarding in the park with my friend, but I was literally waiting on a mate, and yeah, we couldn't. So came back home, did a little bit of work, and yeah, gonna hit the bed soon. So yeah, I hope you found it informative. I hope it was interesting, and I hope that you learned something. And let me know in the comments or whatever what sort of content you'd like to see, if you liked this video, if you didn't like this video, or yeah, just any feedback in general. So that's been today's vlog. If you liked the video, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe. Peace out. Bye.